Older Redditors, what was your financial retirement strategy? Did it ultimately prove successful? Saved 15% of what I made my entire adult life. We lived lower than our colleagues and would make this payment to an investment account as though it was a utility bill. That bill had to be paid every single month, rain or shine. I would pay that bill first, before any others, the first of every month. We invested the opposite of our friends. They would buy luxury stuff and pay all other bills, and, if there was money left over, they'd put that money away. They'd typically make only 3 to 4 deposits a year. The reason I know this is that several friends have recently started to ask me and my wife how to invest. We almost always tell them our strategy, but then they wind up saying, well, I can't go back in time. To which I say nothing. I never made anywhere near even half of 6 figures. I couldn't do 15% at first, but I have always done at least 10%. Starting at $6 per hour in 1987 and slowly up to $20 per hour over 35 years. Single dad and very little child support. Despite what everyone would have you believe, rent, food, utilities weren't free for us old people back in the day. Only vacation would be a road trip or 2 every 5 years. No new cars ever. No cable. Small house, 800 square feet, that needed a lot of work, furnace, roof, or etc. Learn to cook, don't go out to eat. Don't waste money on movies, concerts, snowmobiles, booze, fancy clothes. Writing it out, it may sound bleak to a young person, but raising my daughter and eating bologna sandwiches were the best days of my life. I would do it all over again in a minute the exact same way if I could. No regrets at all skimping to save 10 to 15% over my working life, and now I can rest fairly easy knowing my daughter won't have to support me in my dotage. Live within your means. No kids. No spouse. I worked 7 days a week, 40 hours at my full-time job and 35-hour part-time for 13 years for savings. Bought my house at 28 years old, still traveling 4 times per year. I made $3.85 per hour full-time and waited tables for the other 35. After 13 years I cut back to just a full-time job. Rent here goes for $1,300 per month for 1 bedroom. Homes in the burbs, I live in a nicer area, are now $200,000 and up depending on what you get. I got a fixer-upper back then and little by little making my home my own. Just dropped $20,000 for a full bath reno. Double what I figured it would be. You have to be smart in investments, diligent in purchases, but honestly I don't live on a budget. I buy what I want but only when necessary. I had an iPhone 6 until last June and now have 13. It worked fine. My clothes and furniture are timeless and take care of my things. You can do it, but it is hard work. I didn't really have anything saved for retirement. I got a BS degree in CMIS at age 40 and started working in IT. I decided to max out my 401k as much as possible, but I was determined to get a US federal government job. I figured if I could get hired by the age of 45 and worked until the age of 63 to 64, with my military service time counted, I could get, roughly, a 25% pension. That really helped with retirement. Also, I maintain my health care, though I pay 100% for it now. Anyway, Social Security, pension, and 401k, TSP, and I'm doing okay, knock on wood. I didn't think I'd be retiring. But then I got a job with a public college that has an actual pension. Suddenly it became possible. To supplement our pensions, my wife and I now max out our 403(b), S and IRAs. I'm on track to retire at the end of 2025, my wife sometime after that. My advice to younger workers, don't ignore retirement. You're young and strong now, but someday you're going to look like me. Start saving. Research some strategies, and I don't just mean some rando on YouTube. Do the homework. You really don't want to retire when you're dead. It did and allowed me to retire at 57. I lived within my means, Never went into debt, except mortgage, saved as much as I could with every paycheck, and invested cautiously. I'm also frugal by nature, so not having the latest tech gadgets, daily expensive coffees, eating out, fancy clothes, etc. wasn't an issue at all. I based my entire adult life around Freedom 55, and while I missed it by a couple of years, I'm proud of what I achieved. I've been the sole breadwinner for my wife and I, pets, no kids, during our 32-year marriage. Fortunately, we both share a frugal sensibility, so even though I wasn't making a lot of money, we saved when we could. We did try to find a balance between enjoying life now, but also preparing for the future. In our case, however, it really didn't take much to keep us happy. No vacations abroad, hardly any vacations to speak of, actually, eating out occasionally at very modest restaurants. Breakfast at Waffle House was our idea of splurging. 10 years ago, I ended up working, through a company acquisition, for a Fortune 500 company. Suddenly I had excellent benefits, steady pay raises, and a generous annual bonus. Then, about 4 years ago, I finally tipped over into a six-figure income. We socked away as much of that extra income as we could in anticipation of retirement, or used it to make major repairs on the house: new windows, new roof, new water heater, new refrigerator. I'm now 2 months away from retirement. My wife went on Social Security a few years ago. My investment advisor says we have enough in savings to supplement our Social Security until we're about 82 years old. That's maintaining our current standard of living, which is quite modest, except for what we spend on our pets. It's not so much that we spoil them, which we do, but we just have so many of them. Assuming we're still alive in our mid-80s, which is a very big assumption given all our health issues, then we'll just have to tighten our belts and live entirely on our Social Security. By that time, we'll have fewer pets, she said optimistically, so we may be able to get by without too much deprivation. Lottery. Hasn't worked yet. I unfortunately spent most of 2019 sleeping in my car, so retirement was just a wet dream at that point. I've spent so long just trying to plan for next month, next week, tomorrow morning, that the idea of planning for 20 years from now is incomprehensible. Friends, thank you for watching. Please share your stories below in the comments and see you on the next videos. Have a good day.